I would not boondock in a tent. You can camp in a tent in a campground or around other people, so that, if there's people around and, maybe animals are going to skirt that area and not come around there, even at night. Well, let's get into it. So, the thing is that, in my opinion, if I were you, I would not tent camp while boondocking. And there's a few reasons for this, but the main reason is, since I've been camping, which has not even been that long, really, since February, and now it's May, I've had quite a few instances where animals are right outside my car while I'm sleeping, waking me up at night while I'm sleeping, touching my car while I'm sleeping, rubbing on my car while I'm sleeping, waking me up at night. When I was in Oatman, I was woken up several times by burros right outside my car. And when I was in Chloride, I was woken up several times by cows right outside the car. Again, rubbing on the car. So, pushing on it. So, I'm waking up and then, I'm realizing it's cows and, they're right outside and they're just rubbing on the car. One thing I wanted to mention is, or I want to mention is, when they're rubbing on the car, they weren't really rubbing on the car. They rub on the bike rack and my mirrors, if they're open. Like that. So, I've gotten into the habit now when that I park and I'm setting up, I fold in all my mirrors. So, I just arrived here late last night, and so I didn't set up completely. I still haven't even put out my mat yet, or even removed my bicycle. I'm not sure how long I'm staying here. So, but anyway, when I'm saying they're rubbing on the car, that's usually what they're rubbing on is the mirrors and the bike rack. Usually the bike is not on it. So they'd be rubbing on this part of it. If they're tall enough, like cows, burros, wild horses. Oh my God. But yeah, if you're, boondocking in your car, I'd say, keep your mirrors turned in like that if you can. It's pitch black. I can't really take video of it. I tried when I was in Oatman, and all of it was a failure. I see ya. I just, none of my cameras are very good at night. Now, that brings me to the most recent one, which was right here. I was woken up in the middle of the night, and at first I didn't see anything, and then I was looking out the window, and slowly but surely a head arose, and at first I thought it was a burrow. And we're talking, at this point it was right outside the car, probably, I'm not sure how far away. I'm half asleep. Anyway, I realized, it was something, and I thought, well, maybe I could see it if I looked out the back. So I raised up and I started looking out the back, and it was a wild horse. Is there more of you? Just you? Are you by yourself? And it is rubbing on my bike rack. And wiggling the whole car doing this. And then, when it saw me, it moved around and its whole head was in my back window. I mean, a horse is a big animal. And then it saw me and it was rubbing its nose all over my back window. Snot everywhere. And then it went around the car. It was kind of a frightening incident for me, actually. I was afraid to startle it. In Oatman, when they had woke me up, the burrows, I decided to try to get out and film them. And when I opened up the door, several of them ran away from the car. No problem there. But a couple of them ran towards me. They were startled. They didn't know where to go or what to do. So I then realized that if you're around animals, they're not aware that you're there. Don't startle them. You don't know what they're going to do. You just don't. And they just may run around or run at you. Now, a horse, Jesus Christ, that thing was, was taller than me. It was huge. When it was walking next to the car, it almost was the length of the car. Unbelievable. And it's going clump, 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 clump. I was afraid at one point that it was going to break the back window. Then when it walked around towards the front of the car, I was afraid it was going to walk on top of the car. It could. Its body was way above my hood. I didn't know what it was going to do. It just walked around and walked over into the bushes and left. No big deal. However, this brings me back to the point again. There is no way in hell that I would boondock in a tent. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't do that, but if you do that, just be aware that animals are going to come around your tent. When I was in Chloride, there was paw prints all around my car. So at night, pod creatures, who knows what they were, coyotes, wildcats, I'm not sure, came around my car. When I was in Quartzsite, I was at Copa, outside of Quartzsite. An animal was leaning on the car, and so when I woke up in the morning, there were paw prints on my car. Last night I got woken up, and I thought I heard something, but I couldn't tell. But when I woke up this morning, there's paw prints in the dust on my car. Pretty big ones. Paw prints, not even horses or burros. You know, this is either a coyote or a wild cat. You know, because they were big prints. Now, there you go. So, in my opinion, if you're going to boondock, you shouldn't be in a tent. Now, let me say this. If you're going to be in a campground, I think it's okay. I think only small creatures or creatures that are aware of humans and, you know, afraid of them are going to come into a campground. When I was at Craggy Wash, there were a lot of campers, and, you know, I never saw an animal once. Lizards, but that's it. There were no prints around where that I was camping at Craggy Wash, nothing. The only time I really see animals are when I'm boondocking away from people. You know, away from people with dogs and everything. That's what I want to do. I want to camp where there are no people so that hopefully I could see some animals. But if I were to do that, I would not do it in a tent. For sure. This is what I think is every night while you're boondocking, animals are around your campsite. Just walk around the car here, and this is the bike rack. At the time, my bike wasn't on it, but it was rubbing on these. Its head was right here on my back window. Looking around. For hoof prints. They're around here like that one there. But this ground right here is kind of hard. So hoof prints don't show up that well on it. But here's the car. If I walk right over here, there they are. Hoof prints. I think it came through this area when it was walking to the car. It walked around here, through here, through here. There they are. The ground is hard here, so again, you can't really see hoof prints. But it walked around here in front of the car. Around to the side, and then walked over this way. Here they are, the hoof prints. And there. There. All around this area. You know, so after it left, it just must have cruised around here. There they are. And then walked away. Here they are over here. I guess the thing is to realize is when you're camping, you're not alone. And animals move around, especially at night. You may not see an animal one at night or during the day, but at night they are moving around. That's just all there is to say about it. And, being in the car offers, at least some level of protection from it. I don't think that wild horse would kill me or anything. I'm not worried about that kind of thing. But I am worried about it seeing me, kicking the car. And the same thing with the burros and everything. So if you're in a tent boondocking, you're just going to be exposed to that scenario. Ah! Ooh! Oh! What? Holy moly!